When she spoke, multiple voices came out at once. "You belong to us." I tripped and fell down the steps. The next thing I remember, my name is Emily, and 32 years ago when I was 15, I died for 23 minutes. At least that's what the doctors told me. They said my heart stopped after I fell from a second-story balcony. I suffered a severe head injury and slipped into a coma. I was unconscious for 3 weeks. They had explanations for everything except what really happened. Nobody believes me. Not my parents, not the police, not the doctors. But I know what happened because I was there. Every night when I close my eyes, I still see her face. It started with our neighbor, Mrs. Holloway. She was in her late 40s, lived alone, and kept mostly to herself. Maybe a little lonely. Maybe a little strange. But normal. She'd wave when she saw us outside. She would bring cookies over occasionally. She even helped my mom carry groceries a few times. Not long after my 15th birthday, things started changing. I noticed it first. She would stand at her front window for hours, looking at our house. I thought I was imagining it. Then I started seeing her everywhere, watching from behind curtains, standing motionless in her yard after dark, looking up at my bedroom window, watching the kids playing in the street. Whenever I waved, she wouldn't wave back. She would just stare. A few weeks later, she stopped going to work. She stopped cutting her grass. She stopped talking to anyone. The only time anyone saw her was late at night, walking around her house in circles, like she was following some invisible path. One night, I woke up to an odd sound and looked out my window. She was standing in my backyard. I slammed the curtains shut and ran to my parents. Dad checked outside. Nobody was there. The next morning, my parents told me I had probably dreamed it. I wanted to believe them. A week later, things got worse. I started hearing whispers, soft murmurs coming from outside my window. One night, I finally got brave enough to look. I saw her standing below my room, looking up, whispering. At first, I thought she was talking to herself. Then I realized she was talking to someone or something standing behind her. It seemed darker than the darkness around it. I blinked and it was gone. The next day I saw her dragging something from her house out to her garage. I remember because it was the first time I'd seen her up close in months. She looked terrible. Her skin was pale. Her eyes were sunken and there were scratches covering her arms. She asked if I could come over and help her carry boxes. I said I had to go help my mom with something. She smiled. Then she said something I'll never forget. "That's okay. It won't matter much longer." 3 nights later, I woke up to a sound outside my bedroom door. A tapping noise. I checked my clock. 4:48 a.m. I thought maybe it was my parents. I walked over and opened my door. It was her. When I woke up, I was in her house. She was standing over me. Her eyes looked completely black, not dark. Black. I screamed and tried to run. When I turned to look, she was in front of me. Her body moved strangely, like something was wearing her skin. When she spoke, multiple voices came out at once. "You belong to us." I tripped and fell down the steps. The next thing I remember, I was in her basement. Candles surrounded me, symbols covered the floor. She stood next to me holding a knife. She wasn't looking at me. She was looking upward, something hanging in the darkness above us. "The door is open," she said. I don't know how to describe it. I only remember terror, the purest terror I've ever known. I can still feel her fingers, cold. She looked directly into my eyes, and for 1 second, I saw something staring through hers. Everything went black. When I woke up, 21 days had passed. Everyone said it was a miracle. The police had questions. I told them everything, every detail, every horrifying detail. They listened politely. Then they explained what really happened. According to them, I had been sleepwalking. I walked out onto the balcony of our house and fell. End of story. But that's not the strangest part. The strangest part is what happened to our neighbor. She vanished completely. No trace, no body, no evidence, nothing. Her house was empty. The basement was empty. No symbols, no candles, no signs of anything unusual. It was as if someone had erased everything. Even now, years later, nobody believes me. They think my memories were distorted by trauma. Maybe they're right. Maybe the coma damaged something in my brain. But sometimes I wake up at exactly 4:48 in the morning. When I look out my bedroom window, I see a figure standing across the street, watching, waiting. When I blink, it's gone. Nobody believes me. Maybe nobody ever will. It's strange, but I've been having weird hunger pains lately, ever since I received an invitation to a birthday party for my neighbor's daughter. She is turning 15.